I'm Kelsey and I am a school counselor in Wake County, North Carolina, and I attended UNC's school counseling program about 4 years ago. I actually moved from California out to North Carolina for the program specifically. I chose school counseling because I was actually a former teacher, and I taught elementary school for 5 years, and I realized that while I loved being with my kids, I wanted to kind of narrow my focus down and not focus so much on the academics, which are so important, but the relationships, which is where I found the most joy. So I chose school counseling because I thought I would be able to do that every day. I chose UNC particularly because I'd heard a lot of great things about the program, and I had read a lot of good reports about the students that came from the UNC school counseling program. I also, while I was doing my research, found out that it was a strengths-based philosophy that was taught to us in working with kids, and I loved that. And that really just was a good fit for me. And then last, I was coming back, later in my career, so I wanted a shorter time period, and I loved that it was only a year, but a very intense program within that. So I was getting what I needed in a short period of time. For new students and applicants, my advice to you would be, first, research the career before you get into it, before you come to school on your first day. Visit the American School Counseling Association website, know a little bit about it so that you can kind of get a feel for what your goals are for the program. And then during your internship, embrace every single moment. It's the only time in your life where you really get to observe other teachers, observe people freely, observe your supervisor freely, and also you get that chance to just experiment and be a risk taker. So show some courage, try a lot of new things. Some of it will work and some of it won't. Embrace that, and then take the time to reflect, and that'll help you to know what you really want to do when you're out in the real world. Lastly, UNC has had a huge impact on my career. I think it actually shaped me into the person and the counselor that I always wanted to be. First of all, in just the job search, it helped me with knowing which district would be a really good fit for me. I knew immediately that Wake County would match really well with what I wanted to do. And secondly, we had to do mock interviews, which were so nerve-wracking for me, but provided me with the best feedback that now I feel completely confident going on in any interview. When I got into my position, it totally prepared me for creating my own program. I was the only school counselor at my school, and that can be pretty scary when you get there. But I was able to just really effectively create and organize a program. And I also realized that it wasn't just about working with individual students, but I was prepared for classroom lessons, for small groups, for working with families, and a lot about how to use data to enhance my program and to show and advocate what we do as school counselors. And I don't think I would have learned that anywhere else. It's also afforded me a lot of professional development opportunities that I never knew I would be able to do. I published while I was in school, and I actually still work with some of our professors now to work on writing and just different projects, so it kind of keeps me involved. I also have the opportunity to go back and visit classes and have interns, and that's been a huge learning experience for me because I get to learn from what's the newest in the field now. Lastly, I think it really helped me, we took a cross-cultural class. I think it helped me in relating to students from diverse backgrounds. Felt a lot more confident in forming relationships with people who I'd initially seen as different from me, and I felt very confident in how to approach that and build connections. So overall, it has been a great experience, and I look forward to learning more about where the program goes.